Thank you. And thank you, Director, for
There you are.
the work that you and your team continue to do. And any shortcomings or issues with your team, I believe, are because we are asking you to do things that the law doesn't allow you to do. And that's a failure of us to put in place a comprehensive immigration policy that reflects the demand to come to America. And I just want to say to my colleagues, as we go into this new Congress, where I am and where I think many of my colleagues are, we want security at the border. And where we can work with you to find security at the border, you will find in me an ally and a partner who will want to bring security at the border. When it comes to violent, undocumented immigrants, I want them out of the United States. I personally think they should serve their sentences if they are in custody here before removing them and sending them back to their countries, because you risk that they could come back. But if there are folks who have hurt people, put others in harm's way, have committed sexual assault, they should be gone. And I don't think you're going to find a lot of people on our side who are arguing for violent, undocumented immigrants to stay in the United States. My concern, though, and I hope the Director can speak to this, is that we also have a workforce crisis in America. We have a workforce crisis as it relates to agriculture. We have a workforce crisis as it relates to hospitality. We have a workforce crisis as it relates to food and beverages, particularly our restaurant industry. And so, Director, I ask, if there is going to be a massive deportation, as the President-elect has said he's going to do, what type of pressures will that put on you all to address and process legal immigration pathways? Could we actually harm ourselves if we don't do this right, if we don't prioritize violent offenders, if it's just a grab-all, catch-all? Could we affect our ability to attract the best and brightest to take the jobs where we have vacancies in the United States?
Thank you for that question. Legal immigration in many industries can often be the backbone of that industry. You noted some of them, and it is our job at USCIS to administer the lawful immigration system. The more effectively we can do that, the better we can assist our economy at all levels where immigrants are needed in certain labor forces.
You know, the President-elect has said he's going to put in place a Department of Government Efficiency. I think both sides would like to see the government always be more efficient. On your side, will there be a movement, or are you looking at a way to completely digitize the process for applicants? I know right now it still is very dependent on paper filings. Is that something that could reduce just your workload and also more expeditiously process applicants?
Again, a question I get really excited about. We have grown leaps and bounds in using our technology to help us better process and become more efficient, but also smarter and have more security, more integrity in our systems. Instituting technology throughout our process is the #1 thing that we can do to make us work smarter, faster, and safer for the American people. And that's what we're doing.
Great. Thank you, Director. I also just want to point out to my colleagues, census data last week noted that my congressional district is the 8th wealthiest congressional district in the United States. I'm not doing much to contribute to that number, but many of my constituents are. And that reflects that 40% of my constituents were born outside of the United States. They come largely from places like India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Korea, Philippines, and they reflect the best of our community, and they reflect a resilient mindset that has grown our local economy. And I'll just leave my colleagues with this. Recently, a foreign minister of another country told me the population of the United States is 3 billion people. And I thought that he had misspoken. I said, actually, sir, it's closer to somewhere between 300 and 400 million. And he said, no, you have 3 billion people in the world who will give up anything to come to the United States. And if you all can figure out a way to get it right, you can take the cream of the crop to help your economy. And I hope we can work in the next Congress to try and make that happen. I yield back.
The gentleman has put his finger on exactly the problem that we face.